Knicks Some Noise, it's your man, Why Me. Welcome back to another episode, and thank you very much for tuning in. All right, you know what it is. We grinding, and I know a lot of people are salty about the losses, to the West Coast teams, to Golden State, to the Lakers, OKC, Boston, and Cleveland. Obviously, those are the teams that we've had trouble with this season, including in the Dallas Mavericks as well. Those are some of the elite teams, the top tier teams, who we say we need to beat so we can also be championship contenders. And I totally get it. But right now, we all knew that the team was not a championship team when we started this season. And I hope everybody is not so delusional to think that we were a championship team. And so what we need to understand from a perspective is, and you can look at it from a fan perspective, you can look at it from a basketball purist perspective, from a perspective of a person who plays basketball daily, who used to play basketball, who understands the ebbs and flows of the game. A lot of fans out there, you just look at wins and losses. But for guys who actually play basketball on any competitive level, we know there's sequences and scenarios where the basketball just doesn't go in a basket. You shoot the basketball the same way, you take the same shots in the basketball, and the shots don't fall. It's not an excuse. It's not something that you can wear all day. You just come back the next game and attempt to do better. We already know that Jalen Brunson is probably the sole facilitator on this team. A lot of guys don't have the ability to put the ball on the floor and create offensively. So these are the things that we already knew. And with Jalen Brunson going down now and being out for possibly 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks, other guys have to get into a rhythm right now. And this is what it's about. This is the ugly part of the season. This is the part where teams have to figure it out. Guys have to grind. Go into your toolbox, into your bag of tricks, and understand that your most capable offensive player is out right now, and you have the ability to step up and make baskets and help your team win games. It's very simple, but it's a matter of confidence. It's a matter of stepping out of your comfort zone. And it's also a matter of preparation, which I don't think anyone in the Knicks organization has ever said the coach hasn't prepared them. You got guys like Tyronn Lue, excellent coach. You got guys like Steve Kerr, excellent coach. JJ Redick, not quite an excellent coach yet, but an excellent basketball mind. Joe Mazzulla, excellent coach. The gentleman from the OKC Thunder is an excellent coach because he has the ability to maximize the potential of all of those young players there, including SGA. What we need to do is focus on and control the things that we can control. Like as basketball players, that's pretty much where the game a lot of times changes for young players as compared to experienced and more seasoned players. You control the things that you can control. You focus on areas and places and spots on the court where you become most effective. And your teammates kind of work around you and find their, spots on the court as well. And what I do like to see is that the level of cohesiveness does, elevate when Jalen Brunson goes down. And a lot of times when Karl Anthony Towns goes down, but not Jalen Brunson. We still have Brunson. When we don't have Brunson, we sometimes struggle. And in a way where we lack our fluidity, we lack our go-to person. No one, seemingly knows their role when Brunson goes down. We do have to do a better job in establishing the identity of each and every player. And a lot of you have problems with what Campaign does, but his identity is to increase the tempo of the game, is to improve and increase the momentum of the game. His identity and his responsibility is to hit threes. Is he doing it at a very high rate? No. But we're not paying $225 million contracts for him either. His contract, his salary is very modest. And for what he does as an NBA player, we're not overpaying for a player like Campaign. We're not overpaying for a player like Landry Shamet. You know, those guys are in pocket, and they're playing at their level. You know, what we would love is obviously for guys to play above their level, but Campaign is playing at his level right now. For what he makes, for what his salary is as an NBA player, I don't really see the issue. And so again, we need to control the things that we can control. Guys got to get themselves in position to score. The most important thing in this league right now is baskets. And if we can't get baskets, that's where we run into a lot of trouble. If we're not able to score, if the ball goes in the basket, teams don't get rebounds. You know, and that's a known fact for a lot of people, but I don't think a lot of people understand it. If we make shots, we don't lose the rebounding game. If we outscore our opponents, the rebounding game is nullified. It's null and void. Defensive rebounds don't matter if we make our baskets. And that's what we need to focus on. The forwards in the front court being more front court players. We play too far away from the basket. Achua, Towns, OG does. He's very streaky, but he's been playing. He's been coming along. Mikal Bridges, to me, is a forward, but he has to play the guard position. But he's a small forward. But he plays too far away from the basket. The fadeaways have to stop. The level of aggression has to pick up. It's the playoffs. The playoffs are approaching. We're third in the East behind Cleveland and Boston. And we're going to slip and we're going to lose games because Brunson's not on the court. Just hopefully not too many. We have the Sacramento Kings. We got the Portland Trail Blazers. We got the Golden State Warriors all coming up. And the Golden State Warriors is finalizing this West Coast road trip. And we have those teams to beat. Sacramento, retool. Portland, young, hungry team, was still with something to prove. They may come out. They see New York across the opposite jersey. They're going to play hard. Golden State, we already know what it is. But we can strike magic at any time, lightning in a bottle, whatever you want to call it. We could do what we do with or without Brunson, but the identity of the other players have to pick up. Shots have to go down, and the defense level of intensity has to increase. Now, with Brunson out, we can technically become more of a Tom Thibodeau team. One star, everybody else fits around them, and we can play defensive basketball. We knew that when we got Towns, the defensive acumen would lower a significant amount. He's not the greatest defensive player. We get abused in the pick and roll, and it's just something that we have to live with this personnel. And what I want everybody else to understand is that we're like looking behind us in terms of these losses, because chances are we're not going to play OKC in the playoffs. It's a high chance that but you know, it's obviously a test. It's a measurement of where we are now as a squad. But there's chances are we're not going to play OKC in the playoffs. We do have to worry about Boston, and we also have to worry about the Cleveland Cavaliers. But versus the Thunder, Golden State, I don't know, because one of those teams are going to have to go at it. Golden State, OKC, Denver, somebody's going to have to take the other person out. Minnesota's playing well. So where we fall in again, third in the East. Our stats right now as a team are amazing. You know, Jalen is obviously our leading scorer, and Towns is our leading rebounder. So now Towns has to actually pick up the level of scoring aggression and relax on the threes. Somehow one way or another, you develop a post game going down the stretch. I mean, a post game is definitely something that you build on and you work on throughout the entire stages of your basketball career. And if you don't have it, you don't have it. But you got to figure something out, at least to try to be able to draw fouls from a post up position. You got to make your opponent work for some of these baskets that you're about to put up. You can't just shoot threes and a poor closeout. They have all the energy on the other side to dog you. You got to put your elbow and your shoulder in their chest. And right now, where we are as far as an organization is, we just signed Anton Watson. We signed another player, and we're just looking to shore up our front court. I hope Anton gets a chance to play. Shout out to the fam over there. Shout out to my OG. You know what I mean? You know who you are. And I pretty much hope he gets to play. But what we're looking at is a Tibbs rotation. And unfortunately, it takes a lot of injury for guys to get burned, in the Tibbs rotation. But we just lost this game to the Clippers, 105 to 95. And obviously being on the losing end, also being down a key player. We were in the game for most of the game. They still have James Harden and Kawhi on the other side. We were in the game and hanging around most of the game. It just came down to a couple sequences as to where we couldn't manage the win. But we got the Sacramento Kings on the next one. We're still a favorite, even with Jalen Brunson down. We're still a favorite, but the tempo or the momentum could swing at any time, especially during the game. Sacramento could be an explosive team. They have some explosive guards. DeRozan gets to the line. Zach LaVine, Malik, those guys can still ball at a high level. And so Mitchell Robinson, like the way he's coming along. I like the way he's looking for his shots. He's looking for baskets. He's running the lane. His hands look like he's ready to catch and go, catch and move, make a quick decision using his athleticism. My always thing. I still want you to throw them tops on, them high tops, and do what you got to do. But who am I to talk? At this point, just play ball, much success, much health, and all those types of things. But yeah, Mitchell Robinson is going to be the X factor because I do always want to see the two big man lineup. I don't know why Tibbs doesn't do it, but the two big man lineup would be interesting. Karl Anthony Towns putting up a significant amount of threes, coming off the rim. Mitchell Robinson grabbing some offensive rebounds, maybe seeing how that dynamic works going into the playoffs. If we do have to play a Cleveland Cavaliers team, we need that big man tandem. We need that Towns and Mitchell Robinson tandem to neutralize Evan Mobley and Afro Man. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, the Sacramento Kings up next. I would like to see the squad make an impression on one of these West Coast teams. The California dreaming is exactly what's happening. We dreaming for a win right now. And hey, what can I say? We got the Warriors on Saturday, right after we have the Portland Trailblazers. So what I'm looking at is, let's say we go 2-1. We can handle the Kings and we can handle Portland. The Warriors is obviously going to be a problem at home, but 2-1. Let's get a win in Sacramento at first and lock down and play some defense. Keep them to a low scoring percentage, and we don't have to worry about scoring a lot of points. But we got to lock up on defense, and that's going to be the main thing. You got to keep the main thing, and go back to a home style of play. Knicks Some Noise. It's your man, Why Me. This is what championship teams are made of. How well your bench plays, how they step up when important players go down. Jalen is the guy. when he goes down, what can we do? Where do we fall in amongst the teams who are resilient? Cleveland never had to play without their stars yet. Boston, they never had to play without their stars. Shea has been healthy. OKC has never had to play without this. They never had to deal with any adversity. Imagine, imagine Cleveland, imagine Boston, imagine OKC now dealing with adversity. Any adversity, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, any adversity, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Jared Allen, Afro Man, Evan Mobley, any adversity. The Knicks have had to deal with adversity after adversity after adversity, like adverse condition after adverse condition. Hart with his knee, Towns with his knee, Jalen Brunson with his ankle and other various injuries, his hand in the playoffs, OG's hamstring in the playoffs last season, Randall going out, dislocating his shoulder in the playoffs last season, Mitchell Robinson going down for more than half the season to start the season, going down at the end of the season, and then to start the season. Adversity on top of adversity. We've had to deal with that. Like that's gonna either make or break us. And so what I like to see is us taking that adversity and turning it into momentum, wins, playoff wins. Knicks Some Noise, it's your man, Why Me? I'm here to tell you that we just need to keep grinding. Keep grinding. We the Rough Riders right now. We riding ATVs through the street. We just need to continue to grind. The healthy players continue to play basketball. The players that are just coming back from injury stay healthy and continue to play basketball. Don't overextend. Don't overexert. Let's just keep battling, playing defense. The offense is going to come when you play defense. Offense is always going to present itself. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Knicks Some Noise. It's your man, Why Me? So I'm going to keep this short because we already at 20 minutes almost. I'm going to keep it short. But I just want to say thank y'all to everybody again who sent out the best wishes, the comments. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting back. About to start rehab. A torn Achilles is like the kiss of death for basketball players. But, you know, I'm going to make it back next year. I'm going to get back on the court. But right now, it's all about my kids, you know, training my kids, getting them up to speed with sports and everything. They're starting to get to the point where these lessons and these things are going to matter. They're going to stick. It's no longer about me. You know, it's no longer about my hoop dreams, you know, past 40 years old. It is what it is. I'm established, and, you know, I've been able to come to terms with as much basketball as I played in my life. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about the game, still staying connected to the game. Eventually I want to coach. So if it's anybody out there in my area looking for basketball consulting, basketball commentary, any coaching ideas, you know what I'm saying? This is Mean Moves Only. You know, we still following the principles and we still disciplined to and we love the game. If there's anybody out there who want to collab, get at me. nicksomenoise@gmail.com. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Not talking about the show, but like that's what it is, man. I'm from Harlem too. You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody who's doing this. Shout out to Knicks Fan TV. Y'all already know. Shout out to the squad. Get well soon, Jalen Brunson. You know, take your time. No, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. They say 2, 3.5 weeks at least. You're going to be in rhythm. The other guys need to figure it out. Like if they can't figure it out while you gone, you know, we type doom. If dudes can't put it together while the captain is down, we type doom. Call, you know, going through personal issues with his family, his personal relationships. It is what it is. But if we can't put these wins together while Brunson is out, we might as well just continue to tool up and shore up the team, tighten up the bench, tighten up the rotation, and just continue to get better and more prepared for next season. Because if we can't figure it out, we got no magic if the bench don't come through. You know, if the non-starters don't come through, we got no magic after that. So, Knicks Some Noise is your man, Why Me. Thank you very much for tuning in. We out.